To Theatreland, where all the world's a stage. Ah me, light hearts and heavy eyelids now, and all for £1.70p.
The one-day travel card. Available from underground stations and now selected newsagents.
Home Pride introduced new classic Chinese sauces.
Home Pride man fled. Please allow me.
Yes, but...
Observe, honorable viewers, delicious ingredients like pineapple, ginger, fine sherry, spices, hoisin, and soy sauces.
Ooh, soy sauce.
Prepared to traditional Chinese recipe to help you make inspired Chinese dishes. Okay, Fled?
No, I'm Bert.
Oh, so sorry. All Home Pride men look same to me. Ha ha.
Home Pride classic Chinese. They're a source of inspiration.
In sickness and in health, when you make that promise, you expect to be healthy for the rest of your lives. But there comes a time when just hoping is not enough. That's where Health First comes in. It's part of a group providing private medical cover all over the world. It makes sure that if the time comes, you and yours have the best possible treatment at the earliest opportunity. And Health First probably costs a lot less than you think. Health First lets you put your family's health before anything else, even if the unexpected happens. Is there a better way to show you care?
Deep in his heart, Simon is essentially a fun person, which is why, of all the Findus chefs, he was put in charge of French bread pizzas. Who else could give chili beef, sweet corn and peppers such pep? Who else has a way with Italian-style sausage? Findus French bread pizzas leave a crunch as loud as Simon's shirt, but toppings that are infinitely more tasteful. It takes a Findus chef to make the finest food frozen.
The secret of the great craft taste is the way we blend a pint of milk into every pack of 5 craft singles to give them a special creaminess, to make burgers bigger tasting, double-deckers doubly delicious, beans burst with flavor, and jacket potatoes just great. Kraft Singles. It's the milk that makes the great craft taste.
Highlights of your Monday night programs on Thames. At 7, Wish You Were Here goes to the Kent coast, the Greek islands, and exotic China. At 8, there's comedy with All at Number 20.
I have something rather important to say now, Sheila.
I thought you were going to say Grace.
At 9, your thriller, Macho.
I've been in a murder game much longer than those who do it for real. My murderers never get caught.
And at 10:30, action with Blazing Magnum.
I suspect she was murdered. Possibly poisoned.
Blazing Magnum at 10:30. Action all the way with your Monday night highlights on Thames.
Preceded by Help and Crossroads, and now the news desk.
Hello, in Thames News tonight, why London's beleaguered bus drivers are going into a shell.
Pupils are banned in a school racism row, the high cost of living in the southeast, and the Queen Mum hands out the shamrock.
Plus pie and mash at 6.
The news at 5:45 with Michael Nicholson.
Speaker warns on privilege after child sex accusations. As the right scrapes home, French PM offers to resign. Sarah Ferguson isn't telling if or when, and why in Southampton it pays to be overweight. Hello, good evening. The doctor who an MP says raped an 8-year-old girl is not to be prosecuted. The Attorney General said today he agreed with the Director of Public Prosecutions that there was insufficient evidence. Earlier, Mr. Geoffrey Dickens, the MP who named the doctor last week, was pulled up by the Common Speaker. Mr. Bernard Wetherell ruled that in future MPs should take complaints to the Attorney General and not accuse people who couldn't answer back. Mr. Dickens had earlier threatened to name a vicar who he says had sexually assaulted a young boy.
Mr. Dickens had been expected to name the vicar this afternoon, but Labour and Tory MPs who disapproved of his plans spun out earlier questions so that his turn wasn't reached. Later, a series of MPs got up to protest that he'd interfered in their constituency cases without telling them and had abused his position as an MP to name names under the protection of Parliament from being sued.
As a result of this particular statement being made, the press have been camped out at a particular church in my constituency. Everybody knows who is involved in this matter. As a result of this, a person is being tried by the media and subject to a form of parliamentary lynch law by the honourable gentleman.
May I say this? Children are being abused, and these cases are not coming to court because the DPP has decided otherwise. I've been fighting a national crusade to protect little children, but I would like to advise the honourable member for Hull that you have a man in your constituency who is abusing children.
Freedom of speech is essential to the work of Parliament. It is the responsibility of every individual member to ensure that he uses his freedom in a way that does not needlessly damage those who do not enjoy that privilege, and in a way that does not damage the good name of this House.
Afterwards, Mr. Dickens made it clear he still intended to name the vicar in a written question. But after the Speaker's rebuke, that question may well be disallowed. Meanwhile, he's being challenged to repeat his allegations without the protection of parliamentary privilege.
If Mr. Dickens is so certain about his evidence, let him step outside of the House of Commons, name the man, make the charges and take the legal consequences. I doubt he will do that.
By naming somebody outside, I could involve myself in a long court case.
So you're not sure of your evidence?
No, it's not that at all. I could be innocent in the same way that you suggest they could be innocent, and it would mean that I would be distracted from my parliamentary duties.
Some of your parliamentary colleagues would say you're distracted from getting publicity for yourself.
Yes, they say that, and of course this, I mean, you can just see the sort of publicity I'm getting today, where everyone's running at me and jumping on me in the House of Commons. That's not the sort of publicity I'm seeking. The only publicity I'm seeking is to protect children.
Nevertheless, most MPs of all parties believe Mr. Dickens has offended against the basic principle of English law that a man is innocent until he's proved guilty.
And the allegations against the Humberside vicar are being investigated by a local child protection group. Michael Macmillan reports.
Investigating complaints against a Humberside vicar, the organisation Child Watch alerted MP Geoffrey Dickens. From the mother of an 11-year-old boy allegedly assaulted, an explanation of the pressure she and her family have endured.
I very bad depression, sleepless nights, agitation, knowing that someone's come in my life and disrupted it, and that they've, interfered with my child, and they've got away with it.
The police are aware that the Archbishop of York has twice asked a Humberside vicar to resign. An investigation was earlier dropped because of lack of evidence. Michael Macmillan, ITN, Yorkshire.
Now, some foreign news. And France's socialist Prime Minister, Monsieur Fabius, has offered his resignation to President Mitterrand after the right's narrative